what's up guys, it's Blink. I finally got this truck back. Just to give you a little recap, it's a 2018 Sierra. It's procharged and the whole motor's been built from the bottom up now. I'll go through in this video and I'll show you guys what it's cost me to build this truck. And I got the dyno sheets coming. They didn't print them out. They're gonna email them to me later. So I'll share those dyno sheets with you guys later too. But pretty much what we're doing is we're producing about 700 horsepower to the rear. That's not on the crank, that's to the rear on pump gas. And for a 5.3, the dyno guys were very impressed that it's making that kind of power. If I go E85 in meth, I'm right at 800 horsepower to the rear. So I'm very happy with this truck. And you could talk about 700, 800, people say 1,000, this and that horsepower. It's a lot of damn horsepower and it's really fast and it's really fun. So we'll do a little bit of takeoffs today. I'll do a few 0 to 60s, maybe a 0 to 100, a 30 and a 50 hit, just to give you guys an idea of the power that this truck has. And I'll go through and I'll explain to you every single mod that this truck has on it that makes it possible to do these things. But first I'm gonna start off and let you guys hear a cold crank. So that cold crank was with my cutouts open. It sounds a little different with the cutouts closed. It goes through a Magnaflow exhaust and honestly it muffles it pretty good. So I've got a little switch right here and pretty much I'm going to hold it out. You can hear right now, close that cutout just like this. Makes it a lot quieter. Thought that was pretty cool. Pull up to a red light and might surprise somebody. Start revving her engine at you and you open up those cutouts. It's tuned at 14 pounds of boost. I changed the pulley on the Procharger, gave it 6 extra pounds of boost, which is nice. It's a lot of extra power. I will be doing E85 and meth on it soon, but for right now, this is what's done. And I need to convert I can convert my windshield wiper fluid into a mister that will mist meth. So for 100 horsepower, it's not that expensive to do that conversion with a flex fuel. I'm still getting used to this thing and what it's capable of and all that too. So it's a lot of money in it, and you'll see this as I break down the build and I explain to you guys how much money is in this engine. Just off the top of my head, I mean, it's pushing 20K in the motor to make that kind of power. And I mean, I got another easy 10 between lift kits and wheels and tires, probably more than that, honestly. I think my wheels were 7 grand. I plan on spending this kind of money on this truck when I got it, but my wife says I have an illness. I just love horsepower, I'm addicted to speed, and I like making cool builds, and this thing is pretty damn cool. Put a smile on the dyno tuner's face. You know, if you put a smile on their face with all the stuff that they ride every single day, it's a pretty good build. All right, let's just walk through a little bit of this build. I'm gonna show you the invoice for the truck first, and let's walk through and talk about what has been done. So, we've got, it's gonna be really hard for you guys to see, but I'll just kind of hold it here for a second, and then I'm just gonna read it, and you can go back and pause it if you really want to see an entire breakdown. But what we've got Texas Speed piston and rod kit, now 1663. Got a Texas Speed cylinder head and camshaft. It's a custom grind cam. It's got over, I forget the lift, I think the lift is like 680, something like that. It's got a lot of lift. That was $2,299. Got a complete delete kit, the DOD Delete, so it doesn't go into, you know, 4-cylinder anymore. High stall torque converter. That's a drag torque converter. 3200 stall, 1329. Fuel system. I got an LT4 mechanical fuel pump and LT4 injectors. I needed some fuel pipe. I needed some mechanical fuel pump pipe. Break-in oil. It's a little different, a little thicker, I guess. A little more viscosity, maybe. Put a little zinc in there. Helps everything stays lubricated. Let's see. So antifreeze, blah blah blah, because of the transmission. So I got a triple gauge. That triple gauge set, just for the gauges, was $349. Exhaust cutout, $249. The 3 gauge pillar pod was only $60. Had to go through 3 sets of spark plugs just trying to get the damn thing tuned, so it was a few $100. Supercharger pulley, 3.4. That was $120. A belt, $40. In-tank low lift fuel pump. That was required by the tuner. That's $599. Expensive. HP tuners to unlock my TCM, which is the transmission control module, $300. That's just to unlock it. And HP tuners got me again, and I'll show you where. Then we've got my buddy who built it, and he did me right. And he rebuilt the engine for $3,200, which for a custom build, guy who knows how to build engines, is a fair price. He did the gauge pod wires and the exhaust cutout for free for me because we just had some issues logistically and we weren't getting some parts in. Not really his fault, COVID, but they had given me a date and it took a little bit longer than expected, a good bit longer. And then we had issues getting in with a dyno. It needed, no one wanted to tune this truck. It's got so many platforms. It's a little bit against the norm of what these tuners are used to doing every single day. And we had one guy who did a really good base tune on it without putting it on the dyno. He had a dyno, but my truck wouldn't fit through his garage door. So unfortunately, he was bummed. He couldn't get it. He wanted to put different tires on it. I said I didn't want to do that. I wanted it dynoed with the tires I'm running so I get the best horsepower with the 35 on 22s. Obviously, a stock tire is going to tune a little different on a dyno than another tire. No hard feelings, just, you know, I decided that. Let's go into the dyno. So the dyno, I went to Charleston Performance. I'm going to put the links to all these guys on the video. All right, so I had to get another set of plugs with them. I needed to get a LSA LS9 3-bar map. The 1-bar map is only capable of tuning so much with the boost, so I needed a 3-bar map. And the custom tune is $550 to start, and then there's the credits. And I needed 8 freaking credits with this truck. And I know credits you could probably buy online for $40-50, but they charge $100 when you're there. So I paid $100 a credit for GM credits, 8 credits. So my final dyno bill with the map sensor was $1549. It would have been $1350 if I didn't need new plugs, some shop supplies, and stuff like that. But I needed it, so it was $1549. So if you look here, that's the total for the dyno. And then $13,553. It was $14,000. They gave me a $490 discount, and yeah, that's what it cost, man. So I paid price for the parts. I looked back. I thought that they got a little discount on them, but they held the truck for a long time too. So I'm sure they had to just charge what they had to charge. You got to stay in business. But I mean, all in all, things, it feels like it's built strong. Like I said on the road, and getting to think as I was making the video, it might not be a torque converter issue. That belt simply might be spinning on the Procharger pulley, and that might be causing that like, I feel it sometimes if I'm not on it all the way. It's just at certain times, certain speeds, it seems like it's 70. It wants to just so I'll see if maybe putting a green belt on it. I told them to do that. Maybe they couldn't get their hands on one at the time. Maybe the wheel needs to be scuffed up a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's going to take a little bit of running this thing, and probably have to work out a few things. Just like anything you build up, intensely build up, you're going to have to adjust, make a few adjustments even after the dyno. But I'll let you guys follow my story and my truck. And I'll probably hold on to it for 6 months to a year. And then I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to build a Trackhawk or the next thing, because that's just how I do it. But I do have all the stock parts if anyone's interested in some stock pistons, which I'm sure no one wants that. But I do have some stock heads and a fuel pump and some other stuff, camshaft. So if anybody needs any of those parts, hit me in the comments, and we could work something out if you want, and I'll give you a price for them or whatever. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll give you a few shots of the truck, let you see the motor running, show you the cutouts, and have some more videos to come soon.